The college football experience, conference championship preview and picks, as well as FCS playoffs and hell, college basketball episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bet Rivers. Claim your risk-free bet up to $500 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet rivers at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet rivers. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, conference championship picks, FCS playoffs, preview and picks, and how we got a load of college basketball slate. Maybe we can cover it all. I don't fucking know. Hope everyone is doing good. It's early in the morning here in Los Angeles, and it's just a good time to be alive when you have a slate like this. So excited. If you're wondering who the hell you're talking to, that's or listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Yes. Hope you cashed in on Washington plus 300. It's a good thing the committee's not in charge of things. Catch the sarcasm, because they were all convinced Oregon was 10 points better than Washington. Caitlin DeBauer's now 3-0 against Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks. They might have to throw some more money into that program. Might have to have a few more 8-year-olds making fucking Nikes in Cambodia. All right. Sarcasm, folks. Sarcasm. I am joined by my co-host. If you catch us on Saturday mornings, this guy right here, host of the NBA Gambling Podcast, host of the WNBA Gambling Podcast. Give it up for Terrell Furman. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good. I'm great. You know, just a casual 3-1 win. If you thought the Pac-12 championship game was supposed to go how it was supposed to go, then you haven't been watching the Pac-12. And I just want to say that this was the greatest way for this conference to go out. I am so happy that it went out like that with the 9-point dog winning when everybody had them down and out. No, everybody thought that the Heisman was locked up, and then the Pac-12 goes and throws a monkey wrench and everything. And they asked for this out of college football.
Yeah. I just love the fact that everyone was ready to just to set the line at 10 is super fucking disrespectful in my opinion. Like, to set the line at 10 when Washington is 2-0 under Caitlin DeBauer and Michael Penix against Bo Nix, and one was in Eugene, one was in Seattle.
And one was this year.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing here? 10 on a neutral site? If the championship game was in Eugene, maybe, but unfucking believable. Easy handicap in my opinion. And Kayla DeBauer, proves that he's one of the best coaches in college football. Let's get to the action, man, because we got everything going today, man. Have you seen our college basketball card? Have you seen our?
I dabbled. Hey, I dabbled over there. I did. I dabbled over there because I said, hey, I know Kobe, and conference championship weekend means it's also college basketball weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the first real Saturday of college basketball, folks. So you merge all of that together. Don't just be into football or basketball. You know what I mean? You got to merge those ones. You know, it's like the 405 freeway. All right, just gotta merge that traffic. Let's get to the games at 9 a.m. here. The elephant in the room here is Oklahoma State, Texas. Texas laying 15. There was I haven't looked into that story. I know Gabe is talking about this into the chat. I haven't looked into that story, but there was a dead Longhorn apparently in Stillwater. I saw the story. I didn't click on it. I didn't click on it because, you know, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Like, hey man, the commitment, like, first of all, where do you get one?
Yeah. Well, it is Oklahoma. It is Oklahoma. There's probably like 1,000 right outside of there, but you know.
No, but I'm like, did you steal it? Was it yours and you just like killed one of yours? Or like, did you take it from somebody and then kill it? It was like, cattle just don't be walking down the street by themselves, do they? And if they did, does that mean that it was just minding his business and you wrangled it up and killed it and put it on the lawn? Like, what is the backstory behind how this thing got here?
I mean, I'm sure it's like a good joke, you know, but sort of. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I get the theory of it and the fun of it. I'm hoping it was already dead, but I feel
like they should have dropped it on Texas campus.
Yeah. I mean, the Cowboy fans got riled up with that, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. If you're killing a fucking animal for the fuck of it, I love a cold rivalry, but to me, that kind of stepping over the fucking line there. You just randomly killed. I'm trying to make it work.
Come from?
Yeah,
where did the cow come from? I just want to know where the cow came from, because no matter what the answer is, it's not good. It's either you stole them, it's yours, or it was minding its own business and you just went.
And Galactic says the dude killed the trees. That's a good point. Auburn. Is this worse than killing the trees? I don't know. I mean, there's an angle you can use for both. Man.
I feel like nobody just knows that you can just randomly poison a tree. So I think he had to look that up. He really premeditated that. Like, this person might have just saw a cattle walking down the street and been like, "Oh wait, this is a great idea," and did
it. Yeah. Like, either way, I mean, it's kind of great for the rivalry, but at the same time, like, that's a bold move, man. I mean, I don't know. It's a bold fucking move. You could just, you know, set a car on fire, or a couch on fire or something. But I mean,
like, there's, all right.
It's great for the rivalry long term. Just, you know, I didn't want to click on it in the moment because I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Going on here? I don't even want to give this story fucking light. I don't know. But anyway, I'm taking the 15 points. Tell you that got those people fired up. There's a dead fucking Longhorn there. Those are expensive too. So yeah, I'll load up. I'm on Oklahoma State all day. Mike Gundy 6-2 on the money line, or no, the cattle. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, someone else might have to comment on that. I don't know that I can speak intelligently on the price of cattle, but I do believe to maintain one, you gotta have space, right? Got to have space for that shit to graze, right?
Wait, hold on. So I see $3 per pound. How much does a cattle weigh?
Yeah, I mean,
what?
Yeah. See, here we go.
Way. It's no way.
Daquan knows this shit. He's saying $4K for a Longhorn that old. I mean, if you're the farmer and someone stole your fucking Longhorn or whatever the fuck.
What? I'm pissed. Now we're fighting. Now we're fighting.
Unless he wants to just ride Oklahoma State money line and get all that money back.
Yeah, 100%. I think matter of fact, if he's Moneyline Mac has a 40-1 money line,
Yeah.
basically a 40-1 money line today. So need to hit up money line Matt.
Kramer's got something crazy. I got the worst of that shit, but I mean, Kramer's, I think his odds are pretty good. I took a flyer on it too at, I think it was like the first week of the season, just because of the schedule. But my odds are shittier. My odds are like 10-1, something like that. Kramer's, I believe, is like 20-1. I think something crazy. So, anyway, I'm all dude. Mike Gundy. Here's what the best version of this handicap I can do. Now, Oklahoma State is always a wild card, especially this year. But I believe Gundy being 6-2 in his last 8, he does get up for this one, and he gets up for it naturally because he hates Texas. And I know that from people that I know that cover the Big 12, they were the ones most affected by the news and the most, outspoken about the news, the most pissed off about the news about Oklahoma and Texas leaving for the SEC. So, and Gundy being part of that. So I do think Gundy's going to get up for this one, but my handicap's a little deeper than that because Texas's secondary has been ass all year, but they've been able to mask that by playing backup quarterbacks. When you play 7 of your 12 teams with backup quarterbacks, and the other ones maybe not the greatest of quarterbacks as far as passing quarterbacks, with the exception of maybe, honestly, just go through the schedule. Jalen Milroe, although I like him as a quarterback, he's not fucking Dan Marino sitting back there throwing fucking darts. Dylan Gabriel's been the best passer they've faced all year.
Yeah.
They lost that game. He was able to expose that the secondary some. Donovan Smith for Houston was also able to expose that secondary some. And I don't even know how great of a quarterback he is. I think he's solid, but Alan Bowman is kind of like Donovan Smith, but he's in his 7th year of college football. I'm going to trust the most experienced guy on the field to be able to exploit the Texas secondary. I'm all over Oklahoma State plus 15 and plus 550 on the money line, some shit like that. 520 on the money line. Let's go.
Yeah, I think for me and how I kind of got there is that, so it kind of feels like when you look at this game, it's going to be whoever gets the ball last wins. And if I automatically have that mindset that neither one of these defenses really have the capability in a championship game to kind of slow down either one of these offenses, why am I laying over a touchdown, let alone 2 touchdowns? Like, that's just absolutely insane. I think this line is incredibly off. I am hammering 15. I think that's an automatic lock for the day. Oklahoma State plus 15.
Let's go.
Let's
fucking go.
I mean, you got to ride the money line at that point. Like, it's a 15-point dog, and I'm sitting here telling you it's going to be a 1-score game, and whoever gets the ball last is going to win. I 100% want points of that dog, especially if you're one of the ones like me. You didn't get down on Oklahoma State to win the conference, and you still want some action on this game, and you're saying, well, it's all these people with 40-1s, 35-1s, all this stuff. No, this is a nice, juicy money line dog. Take it.
Yeah, love it. I also, on the favorite tip, there's the MAC championship going on in Toledo. I'm sorry, in Detroit, featuring Toledo in Miami, Ohio. These two teams played in the regular season. This was actually the game that Toledo knocked out starting quarterback Brett Gabbard, brother of Blaine, for the season. And I think Toledo's game fits the dome.
Yep.
And then you add in the fact that Miami, Ohio doesn't have their starting quarterback. You add in the fact that DeQuan Finn, who's an awesome quarterback for Toledo, is from Detroit. He brought the ball out in front of his whole fucking family. I'm all about laying the 7 here at that filthy stadium there in Detroit. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I like Toledo here laying the points, and I think it's just Toledo. It makes me concerned because we're talking about the MAC championship game and we're going with the favorite, and that's always, always, always concerning in this spot. But I'm sitting here, and Toledo's by far and away been the best team in this conference all year. Like we kind of talked about it in the beginning of the season when we were talking about not only where Toledo stacked in the MAC, but we were like where Toledo stacked in all of college football because that defense was nasty. The offense was able to continue to move the ball down the field. I think this is one of those situations where Toledo just kind of flexes their muscles in this championship game, and it gets really, really ugly where Toledo's able to just continuously move the ball downfield. And then Miami, Ohio has no response for the Toledo defense. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'll lay the 7 with Toledo. I think that's enough for them to get over a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like it's a good spot for them. Their game is like Miami, Ohio, I think benefits from like outdoor action games. Toledo, although they're successful outdoors, like to me, they're even better when they're in a dome because they got speed at the skill positions. Like I just think it's bad. I think it's a bad spot.
The run defense is nasty. The pass defense is nasty. Like that's ultimately where I put this. This Toledo defense is really going to show out today.
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, folks, we got everything going together at once today. Like I said, FCS playoffs, college basketball. Yes, FCS playoffs at the same time. So I'm going to go chronologically on this time slate. All right, we got Oklahoma State, Texas, Miami, Ohio, Toledo kicking off in the next 45 minutes. But same with the Richmond Spiders going up to Albany, New York to take on Reese Poffenberger. Do I need to remind you about Reese Poffenberger?
Dog.
Starting quarterback. Yeah, dude, he's going to be in the FBS next year because he's fucking super athletic. Do I need to remind the audience that we have a white guy who can actually dunk in basketball games? All right. All right. We're going to honor that. He should not be an FCS athlete. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. And look, go back to that Marshall game. Go back to that Marshall game where they should have beat Marshall. And Reese Poffenberger has like an 80-yard touchdown running against Marshall's defense. He's kind of nasty. I fully expect him. I mean, look, I hope he stays. Whatever, you know, the culture at Albany maybe is fantastic, but I when I watch him play, I go, that's an FBS quarterback. They're laying 7 against the Richmond Spiders. Now, Richmond's the far more experienced team when it comes to making the playoffs. They've been making the playoffs, I feel like, majority of the years over the past 20, 30 years. Shop around. If you're taking Richmond, you're going to want to shop around because I do see 7.5, 8 out there. I am taking Albany. So I am laying the 7 mainly because it's in Albany, New York. I buy into this team this year. The defense and look, if you guys are watching Florida State later today, Florida State's best defender is a guy named Jared Verse, who's a transfer from Albany. I buy into this coach and what, and you know, what the culture is. You go back to that Marshall game. They should have beat Marshall. Yes, they did lose to Hawaii, but that's a crazy fucking far trip. And it was the week after Marshall. I think it's a pretty good team that Albany has. Richmond replacing a ton. Great year, overachieving. I know you're probably going to go with your Virginia boys, but I think Albany's the better team this year.
No, I'm actually not going with them.
Okay,
no, there we go. Albany, Reese Poffenberger, absolute dog. You look at this, not this Miami. I don't know why I said Miami. Albany defense. You look at this Albany defense, and it's literally one of the top in the FCS. And you still have Reese Poffenberger that's able to throw the ball around field. And so, while I think that Richmond's defense is going to make this interesting for a half, I think that, you know, maybe Richmond first half would be something interesting, catching the points there. I think that it is going to be a little bit of closer game towards the half. But once you get into that third and fourth quarter, I think that's where Albany starts to pull away in this one and they start to cover 7. So I'll take Albany -7. But I admit Richmond may give us a little bit of a good game here, but ultimately I think Albany's going to run away with it. Yeah,
I'm with you. I think it'll be close for a lot of the way. Another FCS game going on at 9 a.m. is Youngstown State going to Villanova there in Philadelphia. Youngstown's catching 6.5. This line's jumped all the fuck around when I did an FCS show earlier this week. It's too many points at that point. I think Nova might win, but I'll take the 6.5. Youngstown keeps a fucking good program. And I think this is kind of a field goal game. If not, Youngstown, potential money line play. What are you doing here, Terrell?
Yeah, I like Youngstown as well. I think Youngstown plus the points, defense is good enough, live enough to be able to keep this one a little bit closer. Villanova gets the win, but it's only by 3.
Yeah, and folks, I will tackle a game that I want to ask Terrell about. I think this is a lock. You know, Shaka Smart's 0-2 against Wisconsin. You know he's going in 1 hour. This game tips off. It is in Madison. The place will be lit. You know, I have a theory that all of Wisconsin's teams stapled to the ground. It's not even a theory. It's a fact. I like this Marquette team. They're laying 3. I think they're going to get Shaka Smart his first win against Wisconsin. So I am locking up the Golden Eagles on the road. There we go, Rob Donaldson. There we go, Pete Rodriguez. He's in there. Let's go. He's parlaying Toledo with Marquette. Little football, basketball parlay.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? And do I even have to ask?
No, you don't. As much as I feel like sometimes I do end up jinxing my guy at certain points. I'm always gonna ride with my guy Shaka Smart. Always gonna ride with my guy.
Dude, he's got to get one. This is the one. I feel like he's got just a flat out better team. I know you could probably say that last year, but Wisconsin can be sneaky if you're not paying attention.
Wisconsin as a home dog is always a concern.
Yeah. There's also Syracuse, Virginia going on at 9 a.m. Syracuse is catching 11.5. I think it's a little bit too much. Virginia only scores like 55 a game. So, I know it's more than 55. I'm being sarcastic, but you get my point. I think Syracuse, UVA wins by 7 or 8 or something. What are you doing here?
Is Syracuse even? Are they going to score? I don't even know if Syracuse is going to score.
I just think it's a big number. I think it's a big number still.
Yeah, I guess UVA double digits is a concern, especially against, I guess, a Power 5 team. I'll take the points with you, but I'm concerned about this Syracuse squad. I am.
Well, Cuban college basketball. I know you're a North Carolina Tar Heel fan. They're laying 12.5 or 13 against Florida State. I think it's a good buy spot for Florida State. I've already bet Florida State mainly because Florida State blew a 17 or 18 point lead with Georgia with about 7 minutes left. Georgia won at the buzzer. And meanwhile, North Carolina just smacked Tennessee. So I kind of feel like it's a sleepy game for the Tar Heels, even though it's an ACC game. I think Florida State can cover. I bet it at 13. There you can get, if you're on Carolina, there's a 12.5 out there, but I took Florida State here. I don't even think Florida State will win the game. I just think I think the number's a little off. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think Florida State comes up big in this spot and able to keep this one a closer game. It's been a lot of times that I felt like earlier in the season that Hubert Davis and his teams kind of move a little bit sluggish. This is probably the better start of the season that he's had as the head coach of this UNC basketball team. And so I'm with you. I think UNC probably gets it done. I mean, Florida State is, this is a very down Florida State team, but it just feels like Florida State's going to get up and be able to go on the road, rank top 25 team, and keep it a closer game. So I'll take the 12.5. Do I think this is over 8? No, I think this is a little closer than that.
Yeah, that was my logic too. Did want to touch on your boys because Moneyline Mac is locking up North Carolina A&T plus 7.5 today against the Citadel.
No. Don't. What?
I told him. He goes, yeah. Shout out to Terrell Furman. We're gonna get this done. And I go, I don't know that Terrell would be on this one.
No, I wouldn't. We're literally the worst team in college basketball. Like by far. Like we are. No disrespect to my guys, and I still got some people that play on the team. Love you guys. No disrespect, but it's not going well right now, and I have to do a job first and foremost. Like I have to do my job first and foremost, and my job is to give out pretty good, decent sized picks. Maybe some hit, maybe some don't. Fade this North Carolina A&T squad. Oh man, fade them. Even at the crib, man. Even at the crib. I don't even know if anybody's going to the game. What is it at 2:00? The game's I didn't even know it was a game at 2:00. That's the crazy thing. Like, is anybody? Let me call somebody. I don't even think anybody's going to the game, so you probably don't even have that to worry about, to be honest.
I gotta ask you this one: Penny Hardaway, Chris Beard doing battle in Oxford, Mississippi, Memphis, Ole Miss. Memphis laying 1 right now. I think Memphis gets it done. Do you see? Yeah, it's tough, right? It's tough a little bit.
I've seen Penny take teams on the road in a spot just like this and lose this game and it not be close.
Yeah, I'm not locking this by any means. I just think Memphis is a little bit better than Ole Miss this year, thus far.
I know it. I know I saw this game happen before. This game did happen before 2 years ago when and it's about the same day, December 4th.
They should play every year. They should play
Yeah,
every year. They're not fucking
yeah,
far away. Yeah.
they're not. And so
Yeah.
Memphis went to Ole Miss and lost as a -1.5 point favorite, 67-63. I felt like I bet this game before and I lost because I took Memphis. This team's better though. This is a really good team. All right, I feel like I'm going to take Memphis here and they're going to lose, but yeah, I like Memphis. I do. If we're being honest.
And we're going to jump back to football in a second, folks. But I am also just wanted to alert you that Furman is catching 8 at Princeton. Fuck out of here. I'm locking up Furman. Look, Princeton's good. Don't get me wrong. They made the Sweet 16. They're very good. I just think that number's steep. I think Princeton might win this game. They should be favored.
Furman's offense.
Yeah.
And Furman has enough offense where no matter if they're down 20, they can go on a run, 13-0 run just like that, and it's down to 7. Like that's how good their offense can be.
Yeah. Also, there's a great Missouri Valley game going on. Red hot Indiana State is at Bradley. We were all over the place on this one last night. I feel like Mac likes Bradley at home. Obviously, they have a great track record. I think Indiana State is legit. Both teams are 6-1, by the way. And the Missouri Valley this year is phenomenal so far. I think Indiana State, the Sycamores get it done, but that's a very good game to watch there on ESPNU. Got to lean on that side of things. I feel like I can understand both sides of this one. This one I will not give people shit for taking Bradley because I get it. You know, they're good at home traditionally. They've been good at home for a long fucking time. So, but I think Indiana State's the better team this year.
How much stock are we putting in that loss at Murray State?
That is a traditionally tough place to play over the years, but I mean, I thought they would play a little bit better. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll take Indiana State.
Duke, Georgia Tech. Duke coming off that loss. How easy was that fucking handicap? They played at Arkansas. That was their first time they played at an SEC school since 1992. That's really fucking pathetic. Yeah. Now they go to Atlanta though. This is a rebound spot. Damon Stoudemire and Georgia Tech. They kind of been all over the place to start the season. Georgia Tech's getting 12.5. You know, I've bounced all around on this. This came down to this was at 13.5 or 14. I feel like I guess Duke rebounds, but I can see this being a 10-point game, but I'm still going to take Duke. Give me Duke right now because they just lost. But what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm taking Duke. I don't trust this Georgia Tech team. I've never really been a Georgia Tech fan, to be honest, but I think Duke rolls in this one. This is the get back, the get right game. You're getting into over here. Yeah, this is the get right game.
Yeah.
And then you don't have another game. You don't have another game until next Saturday. So you beat the crap out of Georgia Tech, and then you go on a week hiatus.
Yeah. A couple locks I like that are kind of off the beaten path, folks. Lafayette's getting 11.5 at home against Cornell. I understand Lafayette's not great, but Cornell, come on. 11.5. Give me the 11.5 there. I also like Villanova to bounce back after that loss to St. Joe's. I like laying the 10.5 against Drexel. I don't know if you like any of those, Terrell, but a couple others I also like is UT Martin getting 12.5 against McNeese State. McNeese just had a gigantic win over UAB. Will Wade still suspended. I think it's a letdown spot. McNeese probably wins the game, but that line 12.5 is a little too much. I also think Georgia Southern is one of the worst teams in college basketball right now. Jacksonville laying 2.5 at Georgia Southern, I think is a wise play. Those are some that I like. Also, I just saw North Alabama, Kansas State's line go up to like 19.5. K-State has this is a look ahead spot for K-State as they have the Big 12 Big East Challenge ahead of them. They have Villanova on Tuesday. I think North Bama covers 19.5 in the Little Apple. Those are some of the plays I like in the daytime slate here. I mean, I guess, yeah. I also like Davidson laying 3 against Wright State, but that's a pretty good game.
Yeah, I like. That was on the card. I like Davidson today -3.5. I agree with you on Jacksonville State at Georgia Southern laying 1.5. And if we're going down the beaten path, where's that other one that I like?
By the way, Nichols getting 13.5 against La Tech. Also, remember Nichols won at LSU. They can stay within 13.5 at La Tech.
And give me High Point on the road against Northern Florida. -4.5.
High Point's been looking good this year.
They're good.
High Point's been looking good.
Good basketball. I think they get it done. Give me High Point on the road.
We do have a noon Michigan at Oregon game. I actually think we should probably take Michigan because Oregon's so injured. They have so many guys out, and Fale Dante, who's just stays injured. Nate Biddle as well. I ended up leaning Michigan. I didn't bet this, but what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm not betting it. I'm too. I can understand both sides. I think I'm going to Oregon off back-to-back losses at home. I'm going to lean Oregon, but this is close.
Moving back to college football, I'm going to lock this one up. UNLV is in the Mountain West Championship, which is just an absolute crock of shit. I don't know if you know anything about this. San Jose State beat the piss out of UNLV. San Jose State, in my opinion, was the best team in the Mountain West this year, and because of they didn't look at the head-to-head battles. They just used a computer metrics, which was complete fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
San Jose State played a harder schedule. They beat also Fresno, who beat UNLV, but also San Jose State dominated UNLV a week ago. Never trailed in the game. I think also Boise State, with the interim head coach coming into Vegas, they were giving away tickets for free because no one goes to these fucking games. These UNLV fans. I think Boise is going to fuck up UNLV. I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Boise in Vegas. There. What are you doing here in the Mountain West Championship? The bullshit Mountain West Championship.
I think you can do a pleaser here. I think if you take Boise up to -7, you're still going to cash.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I like that play. I think they're going to be the way more physical team. We saw San Jose State do this to UNLV last week. I think it catches up to UNLV again here because I don't think that run defense will be fixed in 7 days. Georgia, Bama. This game's fantastic. This line came down a point overnight.
I don't know if I said this, but lock up Boise State for me.
Yeah, that's a lock, man. That's a lock. That's probably my favorite play on the fucking card.
Yeah.
Georgia's laying 4.5 now. It was 5.5 in Atlanta against Alabama. They say Brock Bowers is questionable. I think he's playing. I'm on Georgia, man. Alabama's been living on the edge multiple games this year. And even though I have been impressed with Tommy Rees and Nick Saban's approach with Jalen Milroe, and I think Jalen Milroe is a better quarterback than most realize. And I would like to use him. I still think they could use him in a more dangerous way. But I do think Kirby Smart's the one guy you don't want to be facing. Look at Jalen Daniels last year in the SEC championship. Kirby Smart shut him down. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Alabama's offensive line has been a question mark all year. Georgia's D line, yes, it's not as good as it was a year ago. It is still a very good defensive line. That's the difference in the game. I think they spy Milroe too. Alabama's run game's been ass besides Milroe being mobile outside of the pocket. Give me Georgia minus the points. What are you doing here?
I think I'm taking Bama plus 4.5.
I could see. I mean,
I think. It's really the unknown.
Under's going to hit too.
It's the unknown. Is this Georgia defense is really good. We understand that. We give them that credit. They've been like this for years. But in an SEC championship game, and Jalen Milroe is on the other side. I mean, if you're Alabama, how do you not pull out all the stops offensively? I mean, all the stops, all the tricks, all the gadgets. You play to his strength. You go out there and you just tell him to kind of go out there and play backyard football, because that's how you're going to beat this disciplined, good strength Georgia defense, is by doing things they're not going to expect. And I mean, Jalen Milroe is literally, I'm not going to expect this. Like, that's him as a quarterback.
But I think that's why I like Georgia. Is I think Georgia's secondary is so good they can man up Auburn's wideouts, and I think they can focus on Milroe outside of the pocket. And if Alabama can establish the run game, which they haven't really been very good at doing that this year, that's my logic. I understand the Georgia side of, the offensive side of the ball. It seems to have some question marks that perhaps weren't there a year ago. Maybe Carson Beck in a big game. I understand that, but I just think that the way they've used Jalen Milroe, which is kind of running outside the pocket, having to make plays, I think that plays into what Kirby Smart can do essentially by shutting down. I just think traditionally Bama's got better wideouts than every other team's defensive backs. Not Georgia, in my opinion. But I think that's going to be the chess match essentially. And I think if Beck does not turn the ball over, Georgia wins. That's the only way to me Bama wins this game, is because Alabama's defense is really good. If the inexperience on the offensive side of the ball for Georgia cost them, that would be the way Georgia loses this game to me. But
I think Georgia can win off a missed field goal. 2-point win by Georgia. Alabama covers. Georgia gets the win, goes on, does what they've been continuing to do all year. I don't know, man. Best play for me. Give me the under. I think both.
Yeah, I love the under too.
Yeah,
I love the under.
Both defenses get going. So best play for me is the under here. But under game, I'm gonna take the dog, Alabama.
Demarik in the chat here. Boise, he wants to. What do you think about this parlay? Boise minus. Oh wait. Boise minus 7. You can throw that into a parlay. It's minus.
I mean, I guess he listened to me and took the alt line.
Can you throw alt lines into a parlay?
It depends on the book.
Huh. Well, shout out to that. Boise State minus 7. Louisville, Rutgers, and Marquette. Is he saying parlay? Maybe he's just saying load up on those. Yes, by the way, I do love Rutgers at home. This is Illinois' first road game in basketball, and they've played nobody. The only team they played was Marquette. Marquette beat them. Now this is their first road trip to the RAC. Rutgers is fire at home. I think Rutgers gets it done there. Let's go. SMU Tulane AAC championship game. Not only does SMU not have their starting quarterback via injury, he just transferred. He put himself in the portal. That's unbelievable. You're playing for a fucking. Tulane's laying 3. They're calling for rain. I cannot take a backup quarterback in the rain when they run the air raid against Tulane. That's kind of a complete, well-balanced team. I'm all over Tulane minus 3. I'm actually perplexed on how the line dropped a 0.5 point overnight. Yeah. But I'll ride the green wave. What are you doing here?
It smells and it's stinky, so I'm not going to lock it up. But I mean, Tulane minus 3 has to be the way to go here. I'm confused. You're confused. We're all confused here. It makes me question, how long has SMU known that this was going to happen? How long have they been preparing this backup quarterback for this type of game? So, yeah, I'll take Tulane, but I'm not going to bet it because the line movement just scared me off.
The Tulane knows that they win and they're in, essentially, like the group of the group of 5, the New Year's Six Bowl. Mm-hmm. I think that's another reason why to take Tulane. App State is at Troy Sun Belt Championship. App State is catching 5.
Which one of these two teams don't deserve to be in it?
It's probably App, but I don't know. App's red hot. They did beat JMU along the way, but JMU definitely deserves to be in it. I'm on App, even though I mean, both these teams are fucking red hot. That's the problem. And App did win on a Hail Mary when they played them last year. I'm still on App. I think they're playing better ball right now. The win at JMU, they had a lot of close losses. I think they're a more complete team, but and they're getting points. That's, to me, Troy might win it, but you're getting, this could be 21-17. You're still hitting. So give me App and the points there. What are you doing here?
I guess I'll take App in the points. App's been dominant versus Troy. These were some bad Troy teams, but they've been dominant in this series. I think that, this is App State playing their best ball in a championship game that they're all so familiar to. And Troy, this is their first opportunity. They don't really know what this feeling is like. A little bit too much in the moment for Troy. Give me App to at least make it close.
I'm going to take you guys to a lock in basketball. Okay, we know Kentucky has shown up in the spotlight. They almost beat Kansas and Chicago. They beat the shit out of Miami.
I figured you were going here.
Wilmington is catching 18.5. I even see a 19 out there. Folks, hear me out here. St. Joe's, I played against Kentucky. That game went to overtime. St. Joe's St. Joe's lost by 8 in overtime. Texas A&M Commerce covered at Kentucky. These teams have been going in there and covering when they're not paying attention to the big game. Wilmington is a good team. They're a good team. They're a good mid-major team. I think they cover this. Kentucky might win by 10, 12, 14, 15. I think this line's a little off. Give me Wilmington plus the points there in Rupp at a letdown spot. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Kentucky has everything you can think of. Rob Dillingham, absolutely amazing. Great pickup for Kentucky. They have a really, really young roster that can get it done.
Dude, they're better than last year. That's what's hilarious. They're actually a better team than last year.
I mean, I told you last year that, hey, Robert Dillingham, remember the name. When he gets to Kentucky, he's going to be legit, and that nobody can stay in front of him. Yeah. But I do think that this is where's the motivation in this spot to get up for this UNC W team just coming in here, you're at home, you're about to have this crazy long break. This is the weekend of college basketball I love because everybody's about to go on a long break. It's either teams that are struggling that just kind of lose out and they're trying to figure it out on the other side of break, or it's teams that are sitting here hey, we're trying to build some momentum. And that's what I feel like this UNCW team is trying to do, build some momentum going into the winter season, going into getting ready for the new year and all the conference games and all of that. Yeah, I'm all over UNCW getting this done. I think that Kentucky, great showing against Miami. That was the highlight.
Yeah. I think it's a great spot. Want to touch on a couple other basketball games, and we'll get back to talking the final 2 FBS games and the rest of the FCS playoffs. But TCU's heading into Georgetown. Ed Cooley and Georgetown looking a little iffy this year, but TCU's played nobody. They're 6-0, but they've played literally a bunch of shitty teams. TCU's laying 9.5 in DC. This was at 11.5 last night, so it's come down 2 points. I still say give me Georgetown on the points until I see, because TCU brought in a shit ton of transfers. Until I see them kind of, I think they're going to be good, but I'll take the points. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Big East. I like the Big East here. Give me the Big East over the Big 12. Get it done. Plus 10. It seems like this is also a really good spot where Ed Cooley can kind of flex his muscles a little bit. Really big. This is a really big home game where you're a 10-point dog coming back into town, especially after not looking good your past few games. Look at the past few games with Georgetown. You had, what was it? Freaking Merrimack.
Yeah.
Merrimack takes you to the wire. You're 10-point favorite in that one. You go and you actually lost the game in that stretch, but Jackson State took you to the wire. They battled hard with you. You played down the competition for all these games, and it looks like you're a lot worse than you probably are. This is a spot where TCU sleepwalks in here, and I think Georgetown is live dog. I think Georgetown's a live dog.
There we go. A couple other big college basketball games I want to hit on. the Colorado State Rams have looked awesome this year. They're taking on Washington in Vegas. Washington football fans get a little bonus basketball game. They're catching 4.5. Washington is in Vegas. I went back and forth on this one because I thought, man, Colorado State is really good. Isaiah Stevens, you're going to be covering on the NBA Gambling Podcast next year if I had to bet. But at the same time, did Washington party last night, or is it great because they have a home edge? It's kind of one of these things. I was all over the place. I ended up settling with Colorado State. Just beat Colorado. They stormed the court in Fort Collins. So I went with Washington plus 4.5. I don't feel good about it this one though. What are you doing here?
I don't know, man. I think this Colorado State team is really, really good.
They smacked Creighton like a week ago or 10 days ago, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, I mean, I was all over the place on this one, but I think this is an intriguing matchup to say the least.
I'm going Colorado State.
There you go. Terrell Furman saying. Rhode Island, Providence, by the way, not going to talk much on this. Rhode Island's getting 14 points. Get the fuck out of here. Give me the points all day. That's a rivalry game. Come on. Give me the points all day. That line should be like 8 or 9. The big one in Vegas tonight too. Oh, hold on. Another rivalry game. New Mexico State's getting 18 at New Mexico. The fuck out of here with that too. I'll take the points and the Aggies. Those teams hate each other.
Yeah.
Give me the points. Give me the points in that. Gonzaga, USC, LeBron James's son is playing his first game his first game ever at USC, but also the first game since he had that heart situation. I think LeBron said he's going to be at this game. Gonzaga's laying 3.5. I went Gonzaga just because I think they're better than USC right now, but you could add it as a motivational side for the Trojans. What are you doing here? It's in Vegas, by the way. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that.
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think it's Gonzaga. I still think it's Gonzaga. Why USC? This feels like a spot where USC short dog. We back USC. You got Bronny James making his first game back. It's going to be so many emotions, so many this is such a big, big thing. Like this is a really, really big thing, and it's going to be an atmosphere that I don't think that the players at USC are ready for. And what is LeBron James being a part of your organization? Like he's going to the game. They're going to be asking questions about Bronny.
It's a distraction, man. Yeah. He's going to be in the crowd.
Yeah,
bit of a distraction.
And if things start to not look good, they're going to be talking about LeBron, looking to LeBron the entire way. Like, yeah, man, I might have to lock up Gonzaga minus 3.5.
I'll join you. Let's go. Give me the Zags minus 3.5 in Vegas. Louisville, Florida State football, ACC championship, heavy rain in the forecast. Tate Rodemaker, the backup quarterback for Florida State's questionable. I think he's going to play. I think they're fucking with you on that. But if it is the third string quarterback, good luck, Florida State. I think Louisville's going to beat them just because Louisville lost to Kentucky last week. And I think Jeff Brom is disappointed in that. But I think Louisville, how do you get the boosters back on your side after losing Kentucky? You win the ACC in your first year. I also think this. Florida was on a backup quarterback last week when Florida State got past Florida. Both offenses look like shit that game. And trust me, that's not Florida's defense being elite. They've been kind of ass all year. So I'm buying in to the fact that Louisville will be able to exploit and put up more points and really put. Now, I will say this. The rain helps Florida State, in my opinion.
I just don't think Louisville's offense is going to – I don't think they're going to do much, man. I think they're going to get destroyed. Well, not destroyed, but I don't think they I think this is going to be a close, ugly game. Like this is going to be what you would have thought Iowa and some other random Big Ten game is going to look like. I don't think there's going to be many points. I don't think there's going to be any scoring at all. I think it's going to rely on two defenses as much as the ACC games have gone most of this year. And if it's that close of a game, I'm just going to take Florida State, even if they're on a backup quarterback. Maybe not if they're on third string, but they're on backup. I'll still take them.
I think Louisville's going to beat him. Braum as an underdog's got an incredible record. Now the line closed some, so he's barely an underdog right now. But
I think Louisville covers the 6.5 that it opened with, and when they thought Travis was playing, I think Louisville covers that. But winning the game all the way, I don't know.
It's gonna be fascinating. It's gonna be fascinating. I'm on the cards. Michigan, Iowa, Deacon Hill. Give him the Heisman now, folks. Here's my favorite bet: take Iowa over a 0.5 point in the first half, and if that doesn't hit, double up on Iowa over a 0.5 point in the second half. They're gonna get a field goal at some point. They're gonna get one field goal.
What's the price? What's the price for Iowa to score the first points of the game?
That's a great fucking prop too.
I could see Iowa go down, get a field goal, and then not score again.
I also think this. JJ McCarthy looked great last week, but he threw a couple balls against Ohio State.
They were unreal. Those were by far. Wait, because I have come up here and I've said some bad things about JJ McCarthy. That game probably had at least 3 of the best passes I've ever seen him make in my life.
Yes, and look, some of those were in like dense traffic.
I
don't think that's sustainable. I think you throw that against Iowa, they're going to intercept.
At least 2 of those should have been picks.
Iowa scores on a defensive play. We're going to cash that. Ride that. I also do like the under on 35.5. I think Michigan's going to win this game. I don't like, if anything, with 22, I'd still take Iowa, even though I don't like this play too much. What are you doing here?
No, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm gonna still take Iowa, man. I'm gonna take Iowa.
I'm telling you, do what I said with the over a 0.5 point first half, and if it doesn't hit, double up your bet in the second half.
I want to play. I want to play both. I want to play both defenses to score a touchdown.
Oh, I like that. I see the chat's asking about this one. North Dakota State is heading up to Montana State in FCS playoffs here. North Dakota State seemed to not be the same team that they were previous years, even though they just beat the shit out of Drake in the first round of the FCS playoffs. Montana State's laying 2.5 for 3. I do think this is where North Dakota State hits the wall. I think Montana State's been a better team this year. It's in Bozeman, Montana. This place is going to be fucking insane. They're calling for snow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the snow actually. Well, no, I think that favors Montana State because North Dakota State's a dome team. I will take Montana State to get it done. I know that sounds crazy because North Dakota State's like 1,004 in like their past 20 years of FCS playoff football. But what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I just don't think they're. I don't think it's it. Like I don't think now's the time. I don't think they're good enough. And so, I've been kind of down on North Dakota State for a while now, just saying that hey, the best days are past them, and every team's got to go down. But they're not like a JMU that's just going to make the leap and be consistently good. And so, yeah, I'm on Montana State.
Let's fucking go, Jake Paquin. You're on. Let's have a wager. Let's go. Battle of Bourbon on if Iowa scores or not. Let's go. A couple other FCS games. The Salukis are going into Moscow, Idaho tonight, catching 6.5. I think the Salukis are live to win this thing. Idaho's got injuries. I know the Kibbe Dome, that filthy place, will be rocking. But I think the Salukis are playing better ball right now. I like taking them in the points. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Got to play on that one in Moscow, Idaho. There's also the Chattanooga at Furman game, SoCon rematch. Furman won by 3 the first game. That was at Chattanooga. Chattanooga's playing at Furman. 7-point spread. I think the Mocs could cover that and maybe even win outright. You got to play on any of those?
I'd lean Furman. Just get it done over a touchdown. I think Furman's a by far better team there. And not really a good feel for the other game. I guess I'll take the points with Salukis.
How about the SWAC championship? My guy Bubba McDowell and Prairie View catching a gigantic number in Tallahassee against Florida A&M. 17.5 points is what they're getting. Now they get their ass whooped the first matchup, but winner goes to the Celebration Bowl to take on Howard. 17.5 points.
Is FAMU not technically locked in? Or is everybody just been talking about is this 100% going to happen? Why is everybody
they won 45-7 in the first matchup, but that might be
man. So literally I was just talking to some of my FAMU people earlier this week, like, hey, y'all going to Celebration Bowl, because literally everybody's talking about how they're already going. they're already
sign me up for Bubba McDowell and the points.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
I gotta take the points. They're already claiming that they're going. And as much as I do love the FAMU, I want to see them there again. I thought that this game had already been played and they were in how much they were talking about that they are going. Like I've already talked with people that are setting up hotels, doing all of this. What could possibly go wrong? Give me Prairie View plus 17.5, man.
Let's go.
There's no way they're not looking ahead to Howard, man. There's no way.
Paul Bucher says Sac State plus 11.5 in basketball at Long Beach. I like that. I'm on that actually. Let's get to a parlay before we get out of here, man. What are we thinking? Right. What are we thinking parlay wise? College football parlay, maybe mix it in basketball. I can tell you this: Boise State, Oklahoma State. You only have about 4 minutes to get in there. Give me Boise State, Oklahoma State, and I wouldn't even mind adding Tulane if you're sticking to strictly conference championships.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad play. You got one that and I mean we've already touched on the fact we like Davidson in basketball. We've already touched on a few we like in basketball.
I give you a 2-team money line dog. Let's go with Oklahoma State, and let's put in Georgetown. Georgetown at home against TCU feels like a money line dog. Money line Georgetown and Oklahoma State. Let me see what that pays for you. You got a money. That's your 2-team money line parlay right there.
Oh, I like it. Let
me see. Nah, go ahead. I don't have it.
I would say Furman. You could throw Furman in Oklahoma State. You could do that too. I think Furman could be live against, against the likes of Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
I also like our Gonzaga angle. I know that's not a money line dog, but I'm saying a little parlay action.
You can get Oklahoma State and Furman for 20-1. And you can get Oklahoma State in where the heck is Georgetown at?
They're like what plus we're getting 9.5. So what I would imagine that's
what time is that Georgetown game?
I think it's at like 1 or 2, maybe.
Oh no, it's at 5:30. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. It's 28-1.
Boom, folks. What are you doing? Jump in on the action. I think love the Boise State angle too, folks. That's our show. Let's go watch these fucking games. Give Terrell Furman a follow on Twitter at @reallyrail __ and make sure you check out his podcasts. You hear him on the Sports Gambling Podcast. You can hear him on the NFL Gambling Podcast. He is the host of the the NBA Gambling Podcast. He is also the host of the WNBA Gambling Podcast. Check him out. Appreciate you as always, Terrell.
Always.
And folks, give me a follow on Twitter, X, whatever the fuck, at the Colby D, and the college basketball experience, the college football experience, the FCS college football experience, all on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Let's go watch these games. Appreciate you rocking, people. Until next time, this is the college experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.